Hi everyone. Nice to see you again. My name is Bala. So I'm trying to build an humanoid fleet management system. The idea behind this, I'm sure you probably heard about a lot of robotics happening from Tesla Optimus to Figure and X1 and Unitree, and there are a few Boston Scientific, and all of them are building humanoids that can do human work. And those are all battery based and of course mechanically built with AI infused, which means it can actually have some brains to it and it can work on any given scenario. Now that is all well and good. The system needs there will be a whole set of humanoid technology that we need that they'll be built, but there's also another side is like the governance piece of it, which is like if you have a fleet of humanoids in an enterprise setting, how can you manage it and how can you maintain the entire fleet? So what we did is like we created a system that we can actually create humanoids, so that we have what we call the humanoid management, and here you can actually go create each humanoids, and it also has some KPIs and model versions and battery life and compliance scores, what shift it's going to work on, because if you're in a manufacturing or a hospital environment, you would, or logistics, you may want to set up like, this humanoid is going to work on a day shift at this particular plant or something like that for resource planning. And we also provide you an interface where you can add a new humanoid with model versions, and we also provide you a lot of we also provide you the instructions in case if you wanted to make sure that the humanoid is only doing certain things. And we also provide options to update the humanoid if needed, and you can delete the humanoids. Now this is just one part of it, but then we also provide you access management. So if you have hundreds and thousands of humanoids, you may want to bucket it into different groups, and each group you should be able to provide like a supervisor group and then users who have access to these humanoid robots. So that's why here these are all fake users, and I can select some, and it'll you will see the order gets filtered based on different humanoids that we have based on the groups. You can also select different groups, and you will see different groups where the humanoids are. So you can say like this humanoids are set of humanoids are working in logistics. Some of them are working in plant floor. Some of them are working in a hospital, in a surgical room, or in the hospital floor. And you can see the group details, and in the top, if you see, you will see the total number of humanoids that I have, how many groups and how many users we have, and how many we have a concept called task group that is basically for to make sure that which area the robots are working. So if it is in a plant floor, if they're in a particular few stations, then you can group them to that, or to a plant. These groups are based for the users. This is for admin users, or plant floor users, or supervisors, like things like that, or doctors versus nurses versus hospital staff, admin, and stuff like that. So we provide all these options. This is also available in the tool, so that we can actually effectively manage resource, and also the effectively manage who can have access to it. So we can build a hierarchy of like teams, even managers. Like each task group can be managed by a manager, so they become a robotic manager. That's the idea behind it. Now we also provide you an admin section where we can add different users for different roles, and then you can also add groups. So the groups are very popular when you have large volume of people working, so you can, instead of individually assigning, you can assign it a single group. And then you can also do assignments like each user or the group, what humanoids that they have access to. That's what is done here. And you can also provide an option to add more, select the user, and you can add or delete assignments as you want. So this gives you a control of which user and which user group will have. This is where all the admin config is going to work on it. We also provide you a shift management. This is obviously like depending on the industry where we are. You might need a morning, evening, night, or two shifts, whichever that is. You can configurable, and then you assign the shifts to the robots, so that you can actually do resource planning, and based on, I mean, you can literally do resource planning. Then we have the performance management. This is where you can actually go and look at like um, uh, select the humanoids and see how the battery life is and how the performance score are. Like for example, if they're supposed to do certain work, are they even targeting the right work? Then this is where the information is getting updated from the humanoid itself. We need to figure out how to integrate that with them, and this will allow us to provide, like if the battery is going low at 10%, we can alert somebody, or the if the, I mean at least the supervisor to know, okay, this humanoid is going to take a break to charge the battery, so we need to replace some other humanoids. Or they can say like, okay, we can automatically say the humanoid to go replace themselves when they are available in that particular way. But options are available. You can pick and choose different scores and different, and you can actually plot and see how each ones are and how they are. Miss rate is basically like if it is building something, or if it is picking up something, and how many it failed or how many it processed. It's almost like a quality metric. And then this gives you a snapshot, and you can see the raw metrics in here as well for all of them. We'll keep adding more and more metrics as we know like what the and the metrics are going to be task based, because I know depending on the task the metrics are going to change. And then the final one we have is the fleet analytics. So you have the entire portfolio of fleet. You can see the task, like what task the fleets are assigned to, and then you can actually say like, okay, how is the average battery compliant and performances are. You can see the shift coverage, how the shifts is being coverage, and you can also see the quadrant on like performance, how they are doing. I mean, we want to keep the performance of robots in the higher quadrant, so you get the most amounted. But I mean, obviously as aging, you will start seeing degradation happening as well. And battery replacement and some of these features we need to figure out. If the battery is dying quickly, then we need to figure out like, okay, how do we change the battery and stuff like that. So this constitute the entire fleet management system that we are building. um, I hope this can help any put it in anywhere, including space. If you want to build your manufacturing plant in space, or hospital in space, or constructions in space, or even in earth, we can actually use it in multiple different industries wherever we see that the humanoids are safe to work. And we can also have a capability to manage and maintain and do the governance by humans. So that's the whole idea of this particular system is going to be. Thank you for spending your time, and have a wonderful day.